Hi, my peeps. This is Joel with Effective Educational Consulting. I help elementary schools with emergent bilingual needs to boost their growth rapidly. Today, I wanted to talk to you about something important called reflecting, which I'm sure each of you do in some way, shape, or form. Maybe some of you are asked to do that on campuses. Maybe some are forced to do it. Maybe some of you have found great results. Maybe some of you ignore it just to check out off a box. But today, I wanted to bring some value and kind of break this down for you. So here we go. So we're going to talk about reflecting, how to end and start a year correctly. Basically, let's look at it here on a kindergarten level, which is just this. Basically 4 areas. What did I like? What do I think well? What produced good fruit? What gave me good results? Could be this past year, could be a lesson, could be a time where somebody came in and observed me, could be something in my personal life. And how can I double down on this? On what really worked, what I saw really produced good fruit for me? How can I double down on that? And vice versa. What didn't I like? What do I think didn't go well? What produced bad fruit, did not give me good results? And what can I do differently or just plain not do? Now, that's all great, but the most important point is, why are you doing this? Why would we want to do this? And most people totally miss it. So let's think here. Couple reasons why. Okay. Number one, there's something called the Pareto principle, or Pareto's principle. I'm sure you've heard of it. Basically, here's what it means. We do produces 80% of our results. Okay? And vice versa. 80% of what I do only produces 20% of my results. Here's another way to look at it. 20% of what I do, which is this area, produces 80% of my results, which is all of this, right? And vice versa. 80% of what I do, which is all of this, 80% of what I do only produces 20% of my results, this little area here. Okay? Now, what does this tell me? Why even talk about this? Because if we find that little part of what we're doing that really produces results, then we're going to crush it. You're going to crush it. And if you also find most of what we do that doesn't produce good results, and either change it or cut it out and double down on what really does, you're going to get fantastic results. Let me give you an example. Let's say I wanted to knock down a door. Okay? And I have 2 options. I have firecrackers. So I'm going to light and throw some firecrackers at that door. It's going to take me a long time, and I'm going to be really busy throwing firecrackers at that door, and it's not going to come down. Maybe after years and years and years, right? Or I can take maybe a stick or 2 of dynamite, and that door's coming down. Okay? That's Pareto's principle. Find what really works, double down on it. And don't waste time on the stuff that doesn't. Next, why? Price is law. This comes from the economic world. Here's what it means. It means basically that in a market, in an area, you have certain producers. Let's just say different companies. Okay, the square root of all those companies, all those producers, will produce 50% of all that income in that area. So let me break it down for you. Let me give you an example. Let's say in a town there's 9 bakeries, 9 businesses. What's the square root of 9? 3. 3 of those businesses are going to make 50% of all that money. The other 6 businesses out of those 9 are only going to make 50% of that income. They're going to have to share that 50%. The 3 out of those 9, they take half of it to share amongst them. Here's another example. Let's say in a town there's 100 gas stations. Square root of 100, 10. 10 of those businesses are going to make half of all that income in that market. The other 90 gas stations are going to make 50%. So let's put a number to it. Let's say in that market for those gas stations, it was $2 million. Square root of 100, 10. 10 of those businesses are going to take half of that, $1 million, and they're going to share it. Each one of those 10 businesses are going to take 100,000. The rest of those businesses, 90 of them, are going to take the other half, 1 million, and take home only 11,111. Okay, one more time. What does this have to do with reflecting in you and I? All they found out in the economic world was there are people who found out where they are the most productive, effective, fruitful, and those people doubled down on that, and they became super, hyper effective. And that's a very, very, very small percentage. Most won't ever discover that. Most are just going to spin their wheels and waste their time and not get any results. That's what this is about. That is why you and I should do reflection with that understanding. And when it's done with that understanding, it can be a total game changer. Okay, so some suggestions. Be grateful and express your gratitude deeply about 2023, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Reflect on 2023. Choose 2 things, only 2, that you liked, that worked for you, that produced something good, and 2 things that you didn't like, that didn't produce something good, that didn't give you good results. Make a plan for the next year, 2024. How are you going to double down on those 2 things that did produce good fruit for you? And how are you going to change or just cut out those 2 things that you didn't like or that didn't produce good fruit? And if just a thought to leave you with, if we would just choose 1 thing per month that worked and double down on that, and also vice versa, discover 1 thing that is not producing for us and just cut it out or change it, our lives would change drastically. Drastically. In a good way. So one more time, I'm Joel from Effective Educational Consulting, where I work with elementary schools with EB needs to help them boost their growth rapidly. If you'd like to contact me, you can find me on YouTube or Instagram, Effective Educational Consulting, or by email, effectiveeducationalconsulting@gmail.com. Thank you for sharing some time with me. I really, really hope this adds value to someone, that this will change someone's life, bring you joy, bring you hope, and make you super duper effective. All right, have a good one.